Here's 5 quick editing tips that you need to know now. First off, who the heck am I? And why did you click on this video? If you're new to the channel, this is the Blueprint channel, and I have been on YouTube for about 12 years. I have published nearly 5,000-ish videos that have gained over 20 billion views. If you want to look up my channel, it's called Unspeakable. And then we also have like 3 other channels that are a little smaller, but the main one has about 17 million subscribers. And I'm making this video and this channel to help creators build valuable attention, to learn all the lessons and all the rabbit holes and all the roads that I took that led to dead ends, to save you years of time. And today I want to share 5 editing tips that I think are super important for creators at any size. You could be at 0 subscribers or 10 million subscribers. All of these tips are quick, simple, but very important. There's a lot of problems that creators face when editing a video, and I've talked to so many creators, and there are problems like they don't know how to edit, or they don't know how to edit a good video, or they don't know what a good edit or a bad edit actually looks like. They don't know what editing tactics to use, what kind of cuts to put into their video, or they don't know how to edit a good video for their specific audience or niche of content. They don't know how to build an engaging intro or something exciting. If you feel that way, I want to kind of break that belief and tell you that you can edit a good video. The problem is editing is a skill, and you have just not been skillful enough to become a great editor. For example, I want you to think of a sport that you've never played. If I throw you the ball right now, are you gonna make a touchdown, a home run, a slam dunk? Probably not. You're gonna need months of training, maybe even years of training to get to the point where you're actually really good, and editing is the exact same way. Editing is a skill, and a skill can be learned, and it also must be trained. And you also have to keep up with it. You have to keep doing things, keep pushing yourself, and keep learning new things to improve that skill of editing. I just want to say that before we get into the 5 tips, because a lot of people say, I can't edit, I can't do this. Well, how many videos have you edited? Have you edited 100 videos, 20 videos, 50 videos? I personally didn't get good at editing until I edited about 400 of my own videos. That's when I got to a point where I was actually good, and some people looked up to me and asked me for tips and advice on how they could edit better. So let's jump into our 5 tips. These are gonna be quick and easy. Get out your pen. Number 1 is learn to cut your video. When you have a raw piece of footage, the first thing you're gonna do is cut it, right? But there's a lot of different ways to cut a video. You can control the pacing of your video by how you cut it. You can cut it faster or slower. You can also do more creative cuts like J cuts and L cuts. And if you don't know what those are, I highly recommend just looking them up. They're super easy to do, but can really drastically change the feeling of your video. And the reason this is my first tip is cutting is where everything starts. When we create one of our videos today, the first thing we do is cut it and piece it together. It's one of the most crucial steps because it really pieces together the first story that your video is gonna be. The second tip is to add creativity. Now, after you get good at cutting your video, the second step is to add creativity to your video. So the first layer is cutting it all together, but then we wanna add creativity. We wanna add sound effects, memes. Maybe your video needs some stock footage. Maybe it needs a voiceover. Maybe it needs to play into an emotion. Like if you're trying to show someone something that's very sad, then maybe you add some sad music, some black and white filters, or something that fits that vibe. And of course, like I just said, all of this takes practice, right? Like it took me years to actually be creative with my video. I would throw random memes and videos, and then I would look back at the video a couple weeks later and be like, wow, that was not funny at all. That didn't make any sense. If you break it down to the most simple level, all videos on YouTube follow those 2 things. You have to, step 1, cut your video, and step 2, you have to add creative things to your video to make it alive, make it surprising, build curiosity, build emotion in your video. And every category, every niche, and every audience on YouTube is totally different. So the way I build emotion into my videos, I really play on laughter and happiness. So that's what I focus on when I edit my type of video, but your audience might be totally different. Your audience might be more serious. more dramatic. It's totally up to your style, your category, and your audience. My third tip is very simple, very easy to understand, but very difficult to achieve, and that's to make your last video your competition. So this is a big goal to set, but it's one that will allow you to consistently improve weeks over months and over years. So all you have to do is make your last video your competition. Make your next video at least minimum 1% better in your editing. And you can also apply this goal to your filming, your thumbnails, your titles, everything that you do on YouTube. You can make your last video your competition. This is what I did for years, and over time, my editing got better, my thumbnails got better, my titles got better, my video ideas got better. It all improves. The fourth tip I have is to make sure your video is building to something, right? What can you build to? Now, sometimes this has to be done in the filming process, but a lot of the times this can be done in the editing process as well. Maybe you're doing a Nerf war. How can you build up suspense or tension to that final battle where maybe you win? Maybe you're doing a review on the new iPhone that just came out. How can you build up to show people some of the greatest features at the end of the video? Always try to build up to something. People want to look forward to something when they're watching a video. And the fifth tip is a little different, but it personally helped me a lot, and it's to get uncomfortable, to actually stop editing and go outside and touch some grass. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe you might need it. My point here is to stop editing and to start being creative. Maybe go draw a picture. Maybe do something that you haven't done in a long time. Go build a Lego set. Go create something. Go build a treehouse. I don't know. My point is that when I would step away from editing and go do things in life that kind of made me uncomfortable, try new things, it really just opened my eye to a whole nother level of creativity. And it's not like one day I was painting a picture in a beautiful park and all of a sudden it just popped in my head that, oh, I know how to edit now. It's not really how it works, but you get little tips and little inspiration from doing these things and getting yourself uncomfortable that you want to try new things with editing and you want to just push yourself and see what this will do or see what this will do. I promise, just give it a try. Worst that happens is you draw a pretty picture in a park. So those are my 5 tips for editing. Of course, I have a lot more tips, but those are probably the ones that impacted me the most and really helped me become a better editor. But again, like I said, practice, 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 practice. Repetition, repetition. That's really how you become great at editing. It's not just something you can flip a switch one day and just become great. It takes a lot of time, but you will become a great editor if you don't give up. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what video I should make or talk about next week.